For the fourth time in 5 years, Richard Childress Racing has won the season opening race at Daytona, and once again, it is Austin Hill claiming his 11th superspeedway victory in his entire career. Absolutely unbelievable. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Talkin NASCAR. I am your host, Andrew. What a race we had to kick off the season in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Yesterday in the Craftsman Truck Series race at Daytona with Chandler Smith making an incredible last lap pass coming to the checkered flag was a great way to kick off the Truck Series season. And we just got a really nice set of racing from Daytona in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And Austin Hill once again picked up another super speedway victory. Last year, it was his teammate Jesse Love in the number 2 car who got the victory for Richard Childress Racing. Now this year, once again, it is Austin Hill getting the victory for RCR, getting their 4th win in the last 5 Daytona season opening races in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. We're going to go ahead and start breaking this entire race down. And unfortunately, we have to start right at the beginning on lap 1, coming to the green already after having to run multiple pace laps due to some miscommunications, I'm pretty sure, with the pace car and the race directors at Daytona. Austin Hill leading the field to green from the outside with his teammate Jesse Love on the inside. Green flag is in the air. Nope. We already have a crash. A humongous stack up sends Brennan Poole, Jeremy Clance, and many others spinning down into the grass, stacking up a lot of drivers. Mason Maggio, Anthony Alfredo, Luke Fenhouse, Natalie Decker, Patrick Emmerling, LeVar Scott, Josh Williams, Josh Bilicki, Harrison Burton, Carson Ware also involved in the crash, as we can't even get a full lap underway, and we already have the first caution in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. And just looking back at the stack up there, just some drivers could not get going. Austin Hill and Jesse Love kind of waited a little bit to, actually start accelerating in that restart zone. That's what really ultimately caused the stack up. And again, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series full of inexperienced drivers, some guys in their rookie seasons, guys like LeVar Scott driving for Alpha Prime Racing, the number 45 car, guys like Mason Maggio, who has been piecing together his schedules for the entirety of his career, not having a single full season under his belt. Luke Fenhouse in his first O'Reilly Auto Parts Series start hasn't even run a full Truck Series season yet. Anthony Alfredo, a veteran, but he's in a new car that he made a deal with Cesar Baccarella and Alpha Prime Racing to drive that number 4 car after his full-time ride, the number 96 for Viking Motorsports, failed to qualify, as his just entire speed weeks at Daytona just continued to sour for him. First, it was the failing to qualify for the Daytona 500 after he did initially, but the number 62 of Beard Motorsports did not pass post-race inspection at in the Cup Series side of things after the duels, and now his full-time ride in the O'Reilly Series doesn't qualify. He has to go make a deal with Alpha Prime and Cesar Baccarella to drive that 4 car that isn't even his car, doesn't even have his name on the branding, and doesn't even have his sponsor on there, and he gets into a wreck first thing. That's just a terrible start to a weekend. So this stack up overall, though, I kind of went on a tangent there. Overall is just a product of starting at the front, some inexperienced drivers, and that's the type of thing you see when there's high adrenaline, and a thing that's caused after having one extra pace lap that kind of upsets the balance and routine that some of these drivers were in when they were coming to the green, were getting ready, have their belts nice and tight, all the switches flipped, everything ready to go, and oh, gotta run one more pace lap, guys. Sorry, I don't know what is going on there. And then you turn right around to get them back going, and this is what happens here. And so that caution was about 6 laps. About 6 laps. We didn't get our first reset. We didn't get back going until about lap 7. Austin Hill leading once again, and Williams Walsh on his outside. And for the most part, Austin Hill was able to take advantage and clear the field. So Walsh was still up there, teammate of Austin Hill, Jesse Love, still up there as well. But even still, we saw some really good racing. I mean, Ryan Sieg, Corey Day, a rookie for Hendrick Motorsports, got himself up there into the conversation. It was very, very good racing to start out, and then we had a tire issue with Ryan Sieg, but still, overall, it was really good racing. I mean, Nick Sanchez was able to climb up to fourth from 22nd in his first race with AM Racing in that 25 car, a deal that just came together very, very recently, hasn't really been in the shop probably for more than maybe 2 weeks at most. But we still got to see some really, really good racing overall in this first stage. Then we get to lap 28, and some of the chaos starts to unfold a little bit. Starting with Corey Day. He gets spun off turn four, just gets loose. I mean, it's Corey Day. He's a rookie in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And turn four has been notorious for being very, very slick, especially as that surface at Daytona continues to wear out and age. And Corey Day spun from ninth, clipped the inside wall, still was able to continue under his own power with minimal damage to the left rear corner of that car, but still was enough to send him to the rear of the field. And then we get to lap 30, and we got our first real caution, I'm going to call it, because I don't really count that lap one stack up. Off turn four, once again, Sammy Smith, spun by Sam Mayer, running in fourth. Collects Gio Ruggiero, Sheldon Creed, and Nick Sanchez as well. And that actually ends coming the stage. Actually, I think it was coming to the end of that first stage, and Austin Hill would win stage one in the rest of the field, getting those first 10 stage points that he desperately needs. His teammate of Jesse Love in second, Carson Kvapil for Junior Motorsports in third, Justin Allgaier, Kvapil's teammate, in fourth, Blaine Perkins for Jordan Anderson Racing climbed up to fifth. Sheldon Creed, though, was in that mix, though. That was coming to the end of the stage. He got 5 stage points as well. So Wallach got 4. Sanchez got 3 points. Jeremy Clements as well got 2 points, even though he was involved in that lap one stack up. And then Brandon Jones as well picked up a stage point, and that would end stage one. And as we got underway for stage two, I'm just going to say this right now, it was much more cleaner. It was a lot cleaner than stage one. We didn't get any cautions for cause, but we saw really, really good racing up at the front, mostly between William Sawalich, Jesse Love, Austin Hill, and Raja Karuth got himself up into that conversation as well. The rookie in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series competing, splitting time between Junior Motorsports and Jordan Anderson Racing this season. All four of those guys were up at the front of the field and battling very fiercely. And Carson Kvapil got himself up into that conversation as well. Jeremy Clements and his small team, his uh, owned race team as well, got up in that conversation. Really good racing overall as well. Drivers sneaking under each other, throwing hard, aggressive blocks, even though keeping it clean, though, getting loose every now and then. But again, like in the truck race, saw excellent car control as well. It was phenomenal racing in stage two. But come to the end of it, Austin Hill would win stage two, sweeping everything. He would get 10 more stage points, followed by Carson Kvapil, Justin Allgaier, William Sawalich, Raja Karuth. Parker Retzlaff for Viking Motorsports had worked himself back up inside the top 10. Sammy Smith, after that earlier spin, got himself 4 stage points. So did Jeremy Clements, he got 3. And then Jeb Burton and Blaine Perkins, the Jordan Anderson Racing teammates, would round out the top 10. As we move on now to stage 3, it would really be just building off of what stage 2 was. We did have one spin. It was from Austin Green, who got spun after some contact with fellow rookie Patrick Storopoli for Big Machine Racing. Austin Green was able to continue, but he did go a lap down after that spin. And we'd also get to see our first green flag pit stops of the race, because both stage 1 and stage 2 were short enough to where the drivers could do a full fuel run to the end of those stages without having to make a pit stop. And those were pretty much very, very clean until we got to lap 91, lap 92. We're coming off of turn one. Ryan Sieg trying to merge back in with a group of coming off of pit road, or that was still on the racetrack, excuse me. Sieg was coming off of pit road. Made some contact with Jeb Burton, who has been very aggressive on super speedways for Jordan Anderson Racing. Gets spun around, collected several cars. A very vicious crash for several drivers. Ryan Sieg had a hard impact. Jeb Burton as well. Actually, Jeb actually got away without getting too much damage. Sieg actually also as well got away without making hitting too much contact wise with his car. He kind of just got spun on the apron and was able to continue, but that checkup caused a lot more cars to be caught up. Brandon Jones got a lot of damage. He actually hit head onto the wall. Jeremy Clements got some damage as well. Justin Allgaier got a tiny bit of damage. I mean, Justin Allgaier was right in the middle of a lot of wrecks today in this O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, but for the most part, got minimal damage. And again, in this one, didn't get too much damage that would really take him out of this race. Natalie Decker, Sam Mayer, and Taylor Gray also got some damage. Sam Mayer had a really hard head-on impact with the wall. Taylor Gray got away okay. But Sam Mayer, after having that hard impact with the wall, actually slid back down the racetrack and then came back up right in the path of Natalie Decker. And Natalie Decker on the radio, driving for Joey Gase Motorsports in the 35, was absolutely furious with Sam Mayer, who came up the racetrack. She was yelling like, why was he coming back up the racetrack? But I mean, Sam Mayer just had no brakes. At that point, he was probably just, bracing after that impact, just trying to get himself collected, not really trying to control the car. And to be quite honest and frank with Natalie Decker, who there's a reason why she doesn't have a full-time ride in NASCAR anymore. Um, she shouldn't be going that fast coming off of turn two. When you have the caution out, you just go you're still going probably 100 plus miles an hour when you hit Sam Air, uh, like, what are we doing? Come on. You know that there's a crash off turn 2, and yet you're still going off of turn 2 with a lot of speed, and that's why you crash into Sam Mayer. So I don't think Sam Mayer did anything wrong. In my opinion, it's Natalie Decker's fault for just even going that fast. And this wasn't a case of her brakes failed either. It was just a case of she didn't tap them to begin with. It was just a mental error. So that's my little two piece on that, because I know that thing might get blown up later in the week. But yeah, regardless, vicious hit for Natalie Decker. That's like she said it hurt. It looked like it did. It was a vicious impact for her and Sam Mayer as well. Sam Mayer will be done for the night. And Sam Mayer was getting up at the front a lot in this race. The Wisconsin driver, shout out Sam Mayer. I mean, he was up at the front of the field a lot in this race, but unfortunately, it would all come to an end here. And then it would have to be a red flag, about a 13-minute red flag for cleanup, because there's a lot of oil on the racetrack. That might have been another reason why Natalie Decker didn't slow down. There's just oil, possibly. That could be, but it could have been a thing. But one lap later, we get some pit stops, and we saw some interesting pit strategy. Austin Hill from third, possibly the most dominant car of the day, would pit. He would pit to go put 4 fresh tires on, and that would prove to pay dividends at the end of this race. He would end up restarting 12th, while his teammate of Jesse Love would lead from the outside with Sammy Smith on the inside. And quickly, right away, that 4-tire stop did not seem to impact Austin Hill at all. Started 12th, restarted 12th on lap 198, and quickly moved up to 5th place within a lap. Absolutely unbelievable. But getting back to the front, we saw good hard racing between Jesse Love and Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith would actually get to the lead before we got to lap 100. And in turn 3, William Sawalich gets spun from a bad push. I believe it was from Justin Allgaier, I'm pretty sure. It was a pretty big crash. This might have been the biggest wreck of the night. Collected Justin Allgaier, Corey Day, the rookie. Harrison Burton once again caught up in it. Jed Burton, another wreck he got caught up in. Kyle Sieg was involved. Patrick Emmerling, I believe, actually, I think it was Patrick Emmerling that gave Sawalich the bad push, if I'm remembering correctly from this race. Carson Hocevar was having a really good run for Young's Motorsports, trying to get more seat time at Daytona. Gets caught up in it. LeVar Scott, Patrick Stolarpoli, Daniel Dye in the second entry for AM Racing, who was actually doing a really good job tonight at keeping it clean. Got caught up. Taylor Gray, who was just involved in the last incident, and then Roger Carruth as well, all caught up in this wreck. All the while, at the front, Jesse Love and Austin Hill had cleared for the lead with Blaine Perkins, who is a phenomenal super speedway racer for Jordan Anderson Racing. They also cleared Sammy Smith. So it'll be another 8 laps before we got to the cleanup. The cleanup was completed. We get back going on lap 108, and quickly, right after that, lap 109, we get another caution. Jed Burton, right front tire flat, possibly from some fender rub from all the damage he received, just throwing debris around the racetrack. And that also put Austin Hill back to the lead of this race. He would lead the way with Jesse Love on his outside, and they were side by side. And let's not get this twisted. At this moment, Austin Hill and Jesse Love, they were going to be racing each other. They're both very, very good at super speedway racing, but they will race each other. Hopefully not to the point to where Richard Childress is going to have to yell at them for both of them losing the race and costing Richard Childress Racing a chance at winning the race. And eventually, Austin Hill would continue to lead until Jesse Love would get a run off entering turn 3, try to go the outside, but Austin Hill still able to keep himself out in front. And then on to lap 115, Raja Karuth, left rear tire flat, exiting turn 2, bounces off Carson Kvapil, spins down the back straightaway, collects Carson Hocevar as well, who, despite all the damage, is still racing. Austin Hill gets back to the lead, and Jesse Love now has fallen back to 4th place. And tough night for Raja Karuth as well. That would probably be the end of the night for him. He was doing a really, really good job, but all that damage, just too much for him to overcome. And then lap 119, Austin Hill back to the lead. Sammy Smith on his outside. Carson Kvapil up in that conversation as well, making things close, making things really, 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 really close. And then we get to the white flag, get some crazy action. Austin Hill out in front with Justin Allgaier, Brennan Poole, and Jordan Anderson. The top 4 has really broken away as the front 4, and Jesse Love starting to fade. The handling on that car going back, he would actually fall back into the bottom half of the top 10. And then meanwhile, down the back straightaway, Justin Allgaier gives a huge shove to Brennan Poole, who kind of got squeezed in between him and Austin Hill. Poole just kind of got spit out of that line. He would fade back a little bit, and Austin Hill would still be in the lead. Allgaier coming off, still in there. Jordan Anderson tried to get to the inside. Austin Hill throws a humongous block, makes Jordan Anderson check up, and into turns 3 and 4, Hill begins to pull away once again. That momentum stalled out for both Allgaier and Jordan Anderson. They just are without help, nobody behind them. And coming to the checkered flag, Justin Allgaier got a little bit of support from his teammate Sammy Smith. I believe Taylor Gray was up there at the front, starting to battle. Ryan Ellis in the 0-2 for Young's Motorsports, having a phenomenal day, fighting with, I believe it was Brendan Poole, or maybe Jordan Anderson as well. But regardless, coming to the checker flag, no one could mount the run to catch Austin Hill. He would take the checker flag, and by 0.081 seconds, he would get the victory over Justin Allgaier, claiming his first victory of 2026 and kicking off the 2026 season for Richard Childress Racing with a win at Daytona. I mean, it was an absolutely thrilling final lap at Daytona. I know I may be sounding a little, kind of mellow about it, but give me a break. It's late at night, guys. Come on. It's late at night. So, regardless, what a race. What a final lap. And I'm going to say this, very good racing all around tonight. You had those moments where there's a little bit of chaos. There was overall, I believe, 6 cautions in this race, maybe 4, 5 for cause, I'm pretty sure. So there was definitely some chaos out there on the racetrack. Several cars had damage. Actually, pretty much every single car in this race had damage, mostly except Austin Hill, Jordan Anderson didn't have damage. Jesse Love didn't have very much damage. So overall, I mean, it was a pretty chaotic race with many cars having damage overall. So anyways, let's take a look at the top finishers. Austin Hill swept the stages, got the first stage, second stage, and won the race. 1 point short of a perfect night. He did not get the Xfinity fastest lap, or whatever it's called. I think it's it's still the Xfinity fastest lap. I believe that one might have, I don't know who that actually went to real quick. I'm gonna have to try to find that in the race results. But anyway, Austin Hill would pick up the victory after starting from the pole. Justin Allgaier, a great way to kick off the 2026 season, getting the second most amount of points in second place. How about Ryan Sieg? Came out very close once again to getting his first career victory, but he seemed very happy after in that post-race interview he did with the CW, finishing in third. Very solid race for him. Jordan Anderson, how about that? Doesn't get to race very often for his own team, Jordan Anderson Racing, in that number 32 car, but a great run for him. Jordan Anderson's very good at these super speedways. You can never rule out Jordan Anderson. He finished in fourth. Sammy Smith, phenomenal super speedway racer, finishes in fifth. How about Ryan Ellis getting his second career top 10 in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series in the 0-2 for Young's Motorsports? Really good race for him. For Ryan Ellis there. Carson Kvapil in 7th in his his first race of 2026. Blaine Perkins, another great super speedway racer, in 8th. Jesse Love, man, started on the front row with Austin Hill. Just the handling went away from that car, caused him to fade back at the worst possible time. He ends up in 9th, but that finishing result does not show you like the full story of Jesse Love's race because Jesse Love controlled the field for a lot of this race. When it wasn't Austin Hill, it was either him or maybe Sammy Smith or Carson Kvapil. But Jesse Love, very solid race overall. Finished in ninth. Raja Caruth in 10th. Anthony Alfredo finished in 11th, despite having to start from the rear after failing to qualify in with his full-time ride of Viking Motorsports, which, a little concerning if you're Anthony Alfredo there. So, anyways, he finished in 11th for Alpha Prime Racing. Got a little bit of damage, but still was able to persevere. Brendan Poole, man, I thought this was going to maybe be the race that Brendan Poole breaks through, and I thought he was going to be the one that was going to be challenging Austin Hill off turn 4, but got spit out of that line. He ends up in 12th. Patrick Emmerling in 13th for an extra entry for RSS Racing in the number 38 car. Part-time driver, another one of those that doesn't get to do this very often, but good result for Patrick Emmerling. Parker Retzlaff, another Wisconsin driver, finished in 14th, and then Kyle Sieg in 15th, rounds out the top 15. Some other notable names, Carson Ware for, I think it's Cope Barrett Racing, or whatever it is, the collaboration between Derek Cope's team and Stanton Barrett Motorsports, the number 30 car. Carson Ware ends up with a 19th place finish. Actually had a little bit of a confrontation on pit road with Carson Hocevar after the race. Don't exactly know what it was all about. I'm going to try to continue, obviously, doing research. Hocevar actually end up in 20th. Daniel Dye, driving the extra entry for AM Racing in the 52, ends up in 21st. And then only 21 cars on the lead lap. I should have probably mentioned that. But yeah, only 21 cars on the lead lap. Austin Green, Luke Fenhouse, and Sheldon Creed all multiple laps down. Jeb Burton, William Sawallish, Corey Day, Taylor Gray, Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Jeremy Clemens, Nick Sanchez, Dean Thompson, Gio Ruggiero, all towards the back of the field, many laps down, out of the race. I mean, a lot of big names back here to start off the season. I mean, William Sawallish had a really good race. Started from the front, towards the front of the field, was in control of this race, got caught up in that wreck. Unfortunate. Sheldon Creed had a really quiet night, got caught up in the wreck early, and even before that, wasn't doing much to get up to the front. But after getting involved in that wreck, it was just basically nowhere for him to go. So he ends up in 24th. But there you go. Those are your top finishers. Once again, congratulations to Austin Hill. Whether you love or hate him at this point, you cannot deny that him and Richard Childress Racing just know how to frackin' super speedway race, but because holy cow, Austin Hill is absolutely unbelievable at this. So, with that in mind and everything I have also laid out, let's put this race on the Triple R scale, my race review rating. So, here we go. I thought race was really, really good. The racing product overall, there was competitive racing throughout the entire field. Yes, it was controlled mostly by Richard Childress Racing, and it was Austin Hill, a Richard Childress Racing car that did get up to the front and ended up winning the race. But we had some comers and goers all throughout the race. I mean, Justin Allgaier, who finished in second, was very quietly just sticking around, not really doing anything too crazy. Same with Ryan Sieg. Got damaged early, had a flat tire, still able to come from the back, went a lap down, and got the free pass. Ends up at the front. Jordan Anderson, a part-time driver, ends up in fourth. How about Ryan Ellis getting a top 10? And again, the racing product was very, very good. There wasn't too many confusing things going on with the pit strategy overall. Again, racing product was very, very good. You saw drivers getting runs, pushing as hard as they could, maybe overstepping the boundaries at times, causing some of those wrecks. But overall, though, it was still a really, really solid race with just enough chaos to where it made it exciting, at least. I mean, stage one, I thought when we had that stack up on lap one, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. And to be fair, they settled down from there, didn't really cause too much else in stage one. Stage two was very, very clean. Sorry, I just hit my mic. And wasn't any cautions for cause. Stage three got a little chaotic, at least towards the end. Had a couple big crashes, but, that's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series at Daytona when it's time to go. But I still thought this was a great race overall. So with that, I'm going to give it an 86% on the Triple R scale. A very solid race overall. Great racing. Want to touch on the CW real quick. In their first race covering the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, not the first race covering the secondary series. They covered it all last year. But I really like Adam Alexander on the booth. He just provides so much energy. Same with Jamie McMurray, Parker Kligerman also in there. Provides so much energy into the booth that compared to Fox, like Fox really needs the energy, and they just don't quite have that with Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Mike Joy. But I digress. Yeah, same with Jamie Little and Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick in the Truck Series race yesterday. Just don't have that same energy. So, anyways, I thought the CW did very, very good with their coverage of this race, and the racing product was very, very good. So, 86% packed house at Daytona for O'Reilly Auto Parts, their first race as the new title sponsor for NASCAR Secondary Series, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Really good way to kick it off. A really solid race overall. But that will do it for this episode, everyone. Tell me what you think about the season opening race from Daytona in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series down in the comment section below. Was it a good race? Was it a mid race? Was it a bad race? Was it an utterly terrible race? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you thought about this race, but that'll do it for this one, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this race and enjoyed this episode as well. If you did, go check out the Truck Series race recap from yesterday as well. Got a lot of good stuff over there about the Truck Series race. Cup Series race tomorrow on Fox, Big Fox. Starting time has been moved up to 12:30 Eastern time. At least the program is. Green flag will be set to start about, I believe, 1:15 Central time. So that's about 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct. So, yeah, you can go check out that race. It'll be on Fox. Really excited for the Daytona 500. So that'll do it for this episode, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Also, go check out Talkin Sports with Miles and Andrew. Links to the that channel and show will be down in the description below. And I will see you tomorrow for the Daytona 500 race recap. See you then, everyone. Take care.